Hello, you love grinding cats and dolls out there in YouTube land. You dungeon crawling, beautiful hip cats and dolls. Thank you for tuning in. So, I'm, as you know, a passionate RPG player, and there's something that just grinds my gears and gets on my nerves about RPG video games. Not the genre itself, but this growing faction of gamers that believe that anything they play in which has a character going on in a role or some type of situation is an RPG video game. When these fucking neo fucking douchebags try to go lump in something like Mass Effect with the likes of fucking Call of Duty on the premises and Call of Duty you're playing as a soldier, you're playing as Ghost or who fucking ever and their fucking situational romp. It's the same thing as going on a narrative adventure in an RPG video game. So I'm sorry I didn't start this off with this, but if you don't like cussing, there you go. I'm cussing. Yeah. It's not that I can't articulate my thoughts in a more profound and intellectual way that would soothe you. It's just the fact that this subject matter really fucking pisses me off. And oh, it's just video games. Yeah, I guess it kind of fucking is. But regardless if you're passionate about sports, drawing, art, whatever fucking have you can be passionate about walking your fucking dog for all the fuck I care. This is what grinds my fucking gears, and this is what gets on my fucking nerves. I don't like getting in conversations or talking to people who are so fucking moronic that they can't go get that a game like Mass Effect, while it does have guns like Call of Duty, that the mechanics, the overall gameplay, and the structure and the foundation of the game truly is a breed of its own beyond what happens in fucking Call of Duty. Yes, it's a situational game where you pick up the name of whatever fucking soldier and you go about your business or your adventure, your story, whatever the fucking have you. But when you play RPG video games, something that both Western and J-style RPGs try to go deliver on or have somewhat of an impact on is a growth and a progression of a character. In an RPG video game, I don't pick up a better weapon because I'm out of fucking ammo. I pick up a better weapon because it has better stats. It better suits my character or a situation in which my character is in. Games like Deus Ex really hammer this home hard. You pick up a sniper rifle, it has its own advantages within a situation. But the sniper rifle is an extension of your character. And it's just a piece of equipment to be equipped to your character. While in more traditional RPGs, such as the J-style ones that I really love, a character's growth is seen both through its physical growth, through stats, weapons, and just grinding, but also an emotional and a mature growth throughout the progression of the game. There's actually a reflection behind the character as the way they start at the beginning of the video game, and as through their journey they progress. And there's always this weight behind the character. And I guess you can go contribute this to both styles of games. There is a weight behind your character in Call of Duty, I guess. There is that weight of saving the world or fulfilling your duty or whatever. But the weight behind a character in an RPG video game feels more natural. It's a natural progression. Yes, there are a lot of stupid fucking video games out there. And RPGs are not exempted from this fucking list. But in games like they try to compare them to trying to say Halo or Call of Duty is like Mass Effect. A true growth experience in Mass Effect, at least in one of the best things they probably did and handle was the fact when you were playing as Shepard and you had that tough decision to do with the Krogan, I can't think of his name, but when you were both staring down a barrel of a fucking gun, having this intense narrative conversation where he's fighting and saying that even if Saren is an evil and that must be stopped, what he is doing by genetically regrowing Krogans is an answer to a problem that he's currently having with his people. They've been genocide, the worst military crime or intergalactic crime ever committed. They permanently fucked up their birth rate. They can't go get out new baby Krogans, and their species is slowly but steadily dying off. And here comes an answer. And as your character, you have to go calm him down in this situation. Or you might have to shoot him or whatever. It's that weight, it's that narrative growth. Because in this situation, you have to go become something more than what you are. It's hard to really explain. I guess in the most simplest sense, look at games like No, the Mass Effect one is perfect because if you do talk him down, it actually carries on within the lore and later on in the game's progression. And that's one thing I do like about Mass Effect is that its story really did carry on, and the way you did in one game truly carried on in another fucking game. That's really beautiful about that. I don't give Western RPGs a lot of credit because I don't play too many of them. But Mass Effect is done narrative to a degree that rivals its competitors in J-style RPGs, which are strongly narrative and character-driven games. But again, to what I was going to say, if you want a more easier example of character growth and just character growth in general, look at the Final Fantasy games. Your characters always start off as one way. They're always naive to the world or stuck in their ways. And throughout this journey and the things they do, the characters they meet throughout the story, they go and they can progress into something more. And this is something that I don't see in games like, I'm not going to say Devil May Cry because it has its own character progression, kind of backwards, but games like Call of Duty, Halo, all this other shit, they're not RPG video games. And I'm not probably articulating the best way why they're not RPG video games. Check out the RPG Fanatic. He'll tell you everything. Just check out his channel because he's a really cool guy. But all in all, these fucking games don't go give us the core what we love about RPG video games. I mean, I start off every single one of my fucking videos saying, you level grinding junkies, you hit beautiful dungeon crawling cats and dolls out there in YouTube land. Because that's RPG culture. We level grind. That is our progression through the story. There is no physical endurance in an RPG video game. I can't go buck wild with the fucking Buster Sword and just slash down everybody in my fucking path in Final Fantasy. Hey, maybe that might be cool, but that's not the fucking game. That's not the progression of the story or the development of your character. That's not there. There's a shit ton of puzzles. There's me coming to understanding with the world and situations and things that are in my control and not in my control. And this isn't a fucking fake wall stopping me from going to one fucking location. This is the physical death of team members or actual people I love that carry narrative weight throughout the story. And that is something out of my progression. I can only go through the highs and lows that the story presents me with. There's no point where I can go escape from that boundary and do anything I want and go all buck wild and fucking crazy. Hell, you might be able to go get that out of your traditional Western style RPG, but there's no fucking way you're getting that out of a J-style RPG, and that doesn't make the game any less fucking engaging. I'm tired of people saying like, oh, that's why the games are not so fucking fun. Fuck you. You were able to read a book at one point. At least I digress that you were able to. What? Oh my god, like I'm getting so flustered about this. What I'm trying to go say is if you're somebody who truly thinks that because you play Dante, that you're playing a role, you are playing a role, but you're not playing a role-playing game. Dante doesn't have the same progression as you would find in a typical RPG player. And I don't want to go here that Dante goes around getting skills as he gets stronger. Dante acquires weapons from enemies as he gets stronger. Dante, I can attribute to as much as Kratos from God of War. That he's a character bound by his story, and these power-ups eventually come to augment his power. While as in Cloud, or any fucking RPG character you want to bring up, it's somebody who has to go through the trials of the hero's journey, who has to go gain power and gain knowledge through trial and error. And it's just worlds fucking apart. I don't know what I was going to go do with this video. I just really hate when people fucking do this, that there's this fucking wall that they believe that RPG video games no longer exist as the way they used to, and now that they're this neo shooting gallery bullshit or everything's an RPG fucking video game. It's a style of video game just like fighting's a style of video game, just like FPS is a style of video game. It's like third person is a sub-style of FPS. Anyway, that's my thoughts, my opinions. I'm sorry I rambled on too long. Thank you for listening. As always, I'm the AntiHeroDrink here at RPG Mayhem, dishing out the good news of RPG video games and gaming in general. Peace, sayonara.